car, so you got this, was it 32,000
About
miles?
32,000 in February, and I've put 8,000 miles on it.
See, that's a really good mileage to get, because honestly, I reckon if you get a sub, say, 5,000 mile mint car, that engine, which has just been sat, it's going to have so many cold starts. I think of things like that.
Yeah, I'm the same. Like, if a car's been sat out for a long time, you think all these bushes that have just been sat there, doing nothing, not been worked, stressed, manoeuvring like they should do.
It hasn't had its chance.
Yeah, and they all degrade as well. That's the thing as well. And they're designed to move. They're not designed to sit still.
Definitely drive your cars. And the thing is as well, when you're getting a car with that sort of low mileage, I mean, you said you've done 8,000 miles since you got this. If you do 8,000 miles on a car that's only got 4,000 miles, you're probably going to say goodbye to like 10 grand or something.
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah, definitely,
and that's never going to be an enjoyable experience.
No, and that's the thing. If you've got something like that, like same with these, is that the prices vary, depend on the mileage and depend on the spec, and some people won't even touch them with 30,000 miles on them,
which is weird
for a 4 or 5 year old car, 2016, 2017.
It's about right.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it.
I mean,
to be fair, 30,000 miles is actually low.
Yeah.
For like a 4 or 5 year old car.
No, definitely, and those are the cars that I would rather have, because I'd want to enjoy the car.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want, as much as it's great to sort of say, oh yeah, you know, this is keeping my money safe.
Yeah.
You want to drive it.
Yeah,
that's
I've got
thing.
This isn't a nest egg.
No,
for me.
Definitely.
This is a car to.
You could have easily picked this up in February and just said, oh, you know what, I'm not even going to drive it.
Yeah.
Might be worth a few more £1,000 more than it is now or whatever, but it doesn't. You would have lost the actual experience of owning the car and enjoying it.
Yeah, and I think there's a popular YouTuber, and he had a Clubsport S.
So Volkswagen.
Yeah, Volkswagen.
So he's literally like, whenever I get on like my YouTube analytics, all my subscribers tend to watch his channel.
Yes.
I think he's got about 35,000.
Yeah, he's pretty much a Volkswagen guru.
I'm like low spec basically. It's that way.
You get there, mate. It's fine.
I'll get there in my own way.
Yeah, you get there, mate. Don't you worry. But yeah, he had one, and he said the same thing. He didn't drive it a lot. He was very precious over it, and then he recently is doing a series about the 45 years of GTI, and he had the Clubsport S, the press car, and then drove it, and then he realised how much he loved driving it and how much he missed having his Clubsport S, because he was that thing where it's worth a lot of money, too precious to take on a track. I wouldn't track a Clubsport S.
Yeah, which is weird, which is annoying, isn't it? Because that's what it was designed for. Yeah. But no, I saw his videos back when he got it, because he got one of the early ones as well.
Yeah.
Managed to get it new.
Yeah, I think they said you could have any colour you want as long as it was black, I think he said.
Yeah, literally, they didn't give you a choice.
No, they didn't. Yeah.
And that's where, because they were more one spec, weren't they? Whereas the 40Fs, you kind of, well, like we said, DCC,
they came very standard. It was even down to the point where the Clubsport S actually wasn't going to come with the front grille radar for the automatic cruise control. They didn't want it on there, but then they realised it was part of the insurance for the UK market. They had to have it, so they actually put them back on.
That's quite clever, actually, because I know these are actually in a really good insurance group.
Yeah, I think it was. I had a Mark 6 GTR, and I think this is actually 6 insurance groups lower than my Mark 6, and this is a Clubsport.
My R was basically the same as my Fiesta.
Oh, your Fiesta T.
Yeah, so which is basically says exactly what you.
Yeah, exactly.
Even though it's got like four-wheel drive, 100 extra horsepower.
Yeah, just for the auto braking, city braking.
And it works really, really well. So
it's very good. Yeah, it literally scared the bejesus out of me when it went off one day, and I was like,
"Oh yeah, how it screams with the red."
Yeah, screams with the red.
Yeah, I've had moments like that.
The brakes locked, and I was like, I wasn't that close.
It's quite cool because it primes the brakes.
Yes.
So you literally push a little bit, and it's solid.
Yeah, then that's what happened. It literally primed the brakes. So I'd literally just tapped the brakes. I was like, and the car just ground to a halt, and I was like, that was weird.
It's woken me up sometimes, because when I was commuting into London, it'd be like 5:30 in the morning, pitch black, unlit road or something like that. And then suddenly your car it's almost like it knows the time of the day.
Yeah,
and it's
weird.
Like wake you up.
Yeah.
I've had sometimes it said like the coffee cup symbol as well. It's like,
oh yeah, take the breaks. Yeah, I've had that.
It's like times. Don't forget that. And it's just, and this is where I'm like, how much more will intervene, before you eventually lose all control.
Yes.
This is just like, it's that balance. I personally think they've nailed it.
Yeah, I
just with everything.
Yeah, I think like this. I've got a real thing for the 7.5 TCR. I think is a lovely car. Just some of the looks on it, like the rear diffuser and stuff like that. It's just nice.
So fingers crossed. I've talking to 2 owners with a TCR, again, I'd like to try it. Was going to see it tomorrow around here, but got pushed back. But yeah, hopefully I can let you know how that goes.
And again, the TCR they did do a 3-door, but
I
very
heard
limited
that.
numbers. But the rumor is apparently the reason they let the TCR have some 3-doors was to get rid of their 3-door stock. Shells and stuff.
Because it's just shells, isn't it?
Yeah, because of the shells
front,
and stuff like that. So I think that's why they did some TCRs were in 3-door.
I think I would have it in 3-door if it came with a manual, the TCRs.
Yes.
But because the TCRs are all DSG, I'm sort of like, well, I'll probably get a 5-door.
That's my only quibble with them, really, to be fair.
All autos.
I'm just not an auto guy.
I'll get to see. I mean, they drive... From obviously all the Mark 8, the Rs, the Club Sports, it's all autos. They drive great, and sometimes, I found the gearbox to be a little bit not doing what you want it to do. Whereas in this, if you put it in second, you get the clutch right, it's going to be in second gear.
I just like being involved. I think the more you're involved in it, especially when, say, you have like a bad week or whatever, you find that road and you have a really nice drive, and it's everything is basically what you've done. The car's not okay. The car is part of the package. But if you've done the gears right, you've nailed the corners right, you've hit your braking right,
and you don't have to be going fast to get the involvement.
No.
And that's what I like. And again, everyone each their own for everything. But I'm on that kind of side of things.
B roads for me. 100%.
To just enjoy it and to get the feel of it. And they actually do make decent gearboxes in these Golfs. I've never seen a review where they've said, "Oh, it's the best box ever." But I've driven them, and I'm like, this is probably one of the best manuals I've been driving.
I've not heard people slating them. I think the only thing is obviously the clutch. Some people, when you do the tuning and that, a lot of people saying uprate the clutches.
Well, I kind of know, and we were saying it as well in first gear, because it's got, because of the short gearing, it flies up.
It gets off the mark.
And you just think, okay, it's going fast, but it's probably wearing the clutch quite a bit or whatever. But mine's held up. I mean, I've had mine pretty much from new.
Yeah.
And I haven't replaced anything.
No,
it's just.
I just did the clutch because of the torque.
If you're going more power, 100%, it's got to be a clutch upgrade.
Yeah. But what I would do is if to recommend to anyone, if they wanted to tune their car and they need the clutch, do the clutch first. Don't tune the car, then do the clutch. Trying to do like
which order did you do?
I did the tune and then did the clutch and then had to try and drive it for 1,000 miles to run it in, and I hated it, absolutely hated it, because as soon as I got a bit of power and I was like, God, the clutch. So like to hold back for 1,000 miles when it
particularly
been tuned,
early gears as well, isn't it?
And I was like, that was the worst decision I ever made.
Yeah, and it wasn't too bad to get used to. I was expecting it to be like my R, because in the R it's a slightly firmer clutch than say like a normal GTI. So I was like, I bet it's the same. And then, but it's a little bit sharp. But you get as soon as you learn, it's like
first gear, the sharp, it's got a bit of a grab in first gear as soon as you get on it. But once you get used to it, I find it's very, very OEM. It doesn't feel like it's very heavy. It doesn't feel like it's very soft. It feels OEM to me.
And it feels just like a Golf. And the thing that I loved is, you can have a real blast in these cars. And I think from stock you can have a good blast. That's the thing as well.
Yeah, the stock was lovely. It was I think it was like say two.
It gets a move
265. And I think it was about 300 foot-pounds. I think they are standard, and it was fine. I just really didn't like the overboost. The overboost I just found really weird.
That was the one thing when I saw these, it kind of let them down, and that's what led me to an R as well. There's no, this is your power output. There's no overboost kind of thing.
It's not. You can have this for 10 seconds, and after 10 seconds it's off, and you've got to wait another 10 seconds before it comes back on.
It just doesn't make any sense at all. But again, that was.
It is what it is. And a day I would not have the car if it had overboost. I'd still have it.
Yeah, exactly.
100%.
You still got to drive around in it, but it can definitely take it. But what I liked as well is you then just want to chill out. It's just a Golf. They're just absolutely fine.
I've driven 3 hours to meet you, and it was put the music on, casual. It's take a safe gear on the motorway.
It's fine, isn't it? It's literally like.
Yeah, I daily this a lot of the time, and there's nothing wrong with it.
There's no car that I think has that two sides to it.
No, and that's the thing. Like, say when we were talking about where would you go, like go to Porsche. I think if I had a Porsche, I would be more precious over it, especially paying that kind of Porsche money, And then, do I want to be driving it to work every day? No, not really, because you got to drive down a yard. It's gravel driveway, and it's parked up and left out, and it's a hard one to justify.
No, definitely. I still feel precious leaving it wherever, and like whenever I go to a car park, or like I'm the guy furthest away walking a mile. But yeah, if you're in something like a Porsche, it's a completely different proposition, and you're.
What you could do is just buy 2 of these and just split the mileage between the 2, and you've still got spent half the price of a Porsche.
That's the thing, and.
You can even buy this and just a normal GTI.
Yeah.
Or even a GTD. GTDs are lovely. Yeah, GTDs are lovely cars as well. Mark 7.
So if you're not familiar with where we are, we're just north of the New Forest in the UK. And if you know the New Forest quite well, it's basically full of horses. That's kind of what it is. It's all 40 mile an hour, really nice roads. We are outside of that, just north, and it's in, I think it's called Salisbury. Salisbury. Get my words right. And I actually researched this, and I saw on forums, I was like, is there any good roads to try? And they were like, yeah, from the top of the New Forest, if you then head north from there
towards Salisbury,
and you avoid
I've come down that road, and I was like, this is lovely.
This is going to be fun.
Yeah, especially 7 o'clock, 7:30 in the morning, no one's around.
So definitely come here. I'll leave a link to where we've parked up, because it's literally right next to it. Nice little blast. Nothing.
60 mile an hour road.
Yeah, 60 mile an hour road. You can have fun without even doing that kind of speed. Shout out to these roads.
Yeah, some lovely roads around here.
Absolutely amazing. And enjoy your car. That's the thing. Take it out and enjoy it.
100% enjoy your car. With everything we've been through the last couple of years, enjoying my car is like my biggest thing at the moment.
It's you just have to. And other people have different ways. Like I was washing mine during the week, and it's great. You get that involvement. It takes your mind off looking at screens or whatever it is, or work. But yeah, going for a nice drive, 20-minute drive. Nice and early. Traffic is pretty awful most of the time, so just time it now. Just bring it back another hour. Kind of thing.
I tend to do a lot of nights, so sometimes what I do is if I finish the shift, I'll go for a late night drive and
go for it.
Like 25-mile run.
Just enjoy the car.
Yeah, definitely.
And you get those memories and yeah, for sure. But you're just saying, so you were saying that you probably wouldn't get another new car or another car, or a brand new car.
Yeah, I would not buy another brand new car. For me, it has to be 3-door. I'm not interested in 5-door. While you're in this stage of your life. Yeah, I'm in this stage of my life, and I don't see there's going to be much change to the point where I'd need a 5-door. If the rare times that I do need to put someone in the back, I can get them in the back of a 3-door. People aren't in the back often enough to justify it.
For sure. So my sister, she's got a 1-year-old, and in my car, it's fine. Yeah, like literally in the back, it's spacious. It's not like it's cramped. Yeah. It's the same.
The funny story about that is my friends Fred and Sal, they've got Clubsports, and they've got 3-doors, and they used to have minis. And when they had the baby girl, they had to put her car seat in through the boot. They had to open the tailgate to get her car seat in the back of the car.
Is that because of...
because of the way the seats move forward.
Gotcha.
But when they went looking for Clubsports, because they liked the 3-doors, and because there was more room to get the baby in, they were happy to have a 3-door, even though they got the baby, because they were so used to putting in the Mini and getting like people come up and ask them what they were doing.
Yeah, it looks a bit weird.
Baby seat through the boot of the car doesn't look good.
But that's the thing. You lose the a little bit more practicality getting in and out, but actually once you're in the car, it's absolutely fine.
I'm pretty sure the 5-door and the 3-door, the actual overall length of the car is exactly the same.
Oh yeah, it's definitely. And I actually quite like bigger front doors as well.
Yeah, I'm 6'1", so the bigger front door is a plus.
It's definitely a plus. It's definitely for the win. I mean,
not so good in the car park. So.
Oh yeah, I open them quite wide and stuff.
Yeah, well, I top floor. As far away from the door as possible.
I'm exactly the same, and it's just such a shame. And I don't want to sound like a broken record, but this is why I'd look out for these cars, because there's just, you will not buy a car like this again.
And the thing is, I think they stand out as well.
They look great, and I've heard. I mean, you save a little bit of weight as well. Yeah. There is, not having 2 extra doors does save you weight, and I've heard things like rigidity is better as well.
Yeah.
I mean, you're probably talking quite small, but like if for the Clubsport S, if the 5-door was was better, it would be in 5-door. Yeah, but it was 3-door. So it's like
there is that. At the end of the day, if you're going to build a car to build a ring record, you build the best car you can build to do that record, wouldn't you? So if they couldn't do it any better with a 5-door, they wouldn't do it, would they? So
100%. And I think it's so hard to find a Clubsport S because I do look on like Auto Trader and stuff like that, and it's like the ones that you see that you'd be like, oh yeah, you know, that one looks well looked after. It's like 40 in the 40s.
Yeah, 40s. Yeah, easy 40,000. I think about 18 months ago I was doing my usual safe searches, getting notifications,
I'm the same, exactly the same.
A red 3-door came up because that's what I wanted, a red 3-door, and it came up and it had 22,000 miles on it, and it was £39,000, and that was like 18 months ago. And I would love to be able to afford that money, but because I can't afford that money, I can't justify paying that money for something. And because of that value then is attached to it, I'd be very precious of it.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing. If you get it at a right price, even if it does go up, you're still happy because you're in at that point. And that's a very good point to kind of say.
But if I had picked up the Clubsport S, there's no way I've done 8,000 miles this year.
No, exactly.
And I wouldn't have probably met you today.
No, exactly. You would never have come this far.
No.
And again, how much extra are you going to get? Because you've got the Recaros, you've got the manual, you've got the 3-door looks.
I think to the average person, you probably wouldn't feel any difference. I think the brakes do make a difference.
Oh yeah, but again, how much do they cost out of interest?
You can pick up the discs like from.
Is it from VW, or would you have to go somewhere else?
You can get them from VW, but you can get them from like Awesome GTI.
Okay.
Stuff like that. VW, they're over £500
for the set.
For the set,
for front twos.
Yeah, for the front two. But if you go to Awesome GTI, they're about 380. So it's not bad.
It's not too much difference.
No, I did the front. I obviously did my swap around. Did all the Brembo pads. Did the Brembo rear discs. I think in total cost me about £500 to get the parts.
That's really, really good.
Yeah, I was surprised, really, to be fair. I was expecting the Brembos to be a lot more.
Fantastically. Yeah, and I love the brake pedal feel as well.
Yeah, it's got a very nice feel, yeah.
Yeah, it is a great car.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't really, for me, I'm definitely going to say it's a dream car to kind of own, to be fair, and to kind of get into.
Yeah, I'm ridiculously happy. Like, I love my motorbikes and stuff like that, and I don't even look at motorbikes anymore.
Well, that was the interesting thing you said. So motorbikes obviously being as raw and as connected as you could ever get.
Yeah.
You're in this, which is a Golf.
Which is a Volkswagen Golf. Yeah.
And you're like, this is good.
Yeah, this is it for me. I've had a lot of sports bikes, like mainly Ducatis and things like that, and it's the first time I've ever had a car where I don't want a bike.
No, definitely, and
the wife's very happy.
Yeah, I can imagine. It is a little bit more safer, and
but I find it more fun. Like I've got like where I live down near Dartmoor, I've got a loop that I do is 25-mile loop or a 50-mile loop, which is my like reset mode for a bad week or whatever. And I used to do it on the bikes, and it was always done on the bikes. But now I actually enjoy doing it in the car. That's
good, and it's good to Well, it's good to say that because a lot of people can sometimes be like, "Oh, it's bikes or nothing, or it's cars or nothing."
Yeah. And that's how I used to be. I used to have my cars were one thing, bikes were another. But yeah, I don't need bikes anymore.
No, this is enough, which is great to say. There's literally like a million more things to kind of say about this car that I'm probably going to forget. But I guess the highlights for this kind of car over a standard GTI, if you were getting it from stock, is you get a little bit more power.
Yeah, you get the engine, which is obviously a bit more standard power, and a bit tunable as well.
The looks for me is the big step up. That wing is
the
really,
rear spoiler is
nice.
lovely. Yeah,
really nice. Black roof kind of ties into it. You've got it in red as well, which is like my go-to colour.
Yeah,
and it's GTI because it's red, and you've got the red sort of touches.
Yeah, that's why I like the red, because it had like the red. You got the red pinstripes and stuff like that. The red GTI badges as well.
It kind of fills in, and actually even with like the dials, because mine are the same, but they're obviously blue.
Yes.
It feels more like real because it is real, isn't it? It's real, and we're losing that so much. Everything's virtual, everything's digital. And listen, there was some crazy stuff you could do on the Mark 8s, which blew my mind, like particularly like the mood lighting and stuff.
Oh yeah,
like
the lighting was crazy.
You could absolutely
very impressive. Like, you can do it.
You could go to town, but It's not why, you know, when I was younger, 5, 6, thinking about cars, building a passion of cars. I wasn't thinking, I hope in 25 years I get this really cool interior and infotainment. It wasn't my top priority.
No, an interior has to be, I think, at a certain level for you to enjoy being inside the car. But like when I was younger, what I liked about cars, how they looked on the outside, how they sounded, and how fast they were.
Yeah.
So, things inside I'm not really that bothered by. I'm very analogy. I like the analog dials. I just like buttons to do one option or a couple options, like the mode button. You press at different times to do things. Same with the car. You can go through your screen options as well, and that's enough for me. I don't really need much more else than that. That's not what driving's for me.
No.
If you spend a lot of time in your car and you want to change the colours and make it a bit more.
But these have like nice little lightings anyway, don't they? They light. Is it red? It lights up on yours, or does this?
No,
not light
don't
up?
have it. They don't have the mood lighting on there either. Right. So it's not in the sails. It's not in the doors, but it's in the standard GTI.
That's
again,
interesting.
Yeah, again, you could. I don't know if it's cost cutting or whether it's just to do with the weight saving or something, whatever they want to do. Where
That's weird.
When you're talking about grams or whatever, but yeah,
the filament.
Yeah, the filament and some copper wire and stuff like that, and a module to control it, But yeah, there's none of the lighting, interior lightings done in here. It's literally just your screen, buttons, and your dash, and that's it.
And job done. And I've lived with my Mark 7 for 4 years. The usability of it's great. It's never really frozen on me. It's done the job, and it's worked.
And you've got the CarPlay as well, so it's good for the phone, and obviously you can talk to Siri to send you messages and stuff like that, which is good as well, because obviously if you're like me driving and stuff like that. It makes things easier to communicate with people if they're trying to get hold of you and stuff.
No, definitely.
Whereas obviously the older cars, you were getting like Bluetooth modules, and I just wasn't keen on that.
Definitely. And I mean, I came from being in fast forwards before. The interior is very plasticky and quite low rent. Never really bothered me too much because I just enjoyed the car.
Yeah. I was never that picky.
But I do like, when you're cruising on the motorway or whatever, being in a Golf, it is just a nice place to be.
Yeah, it's all right. It has got plastics and it's got bits that you
sort of lower down, isn't it?
Yeah.
Whereas up top, you're okay.
Yeah, but yes, it works for me. Black and grey works for me. Red exterior works for me. Bucket seats works for me.
Absolutely perfect. I'm gonna take these seats with me.
Yeah, to be fair,
just literally unbolt.
Yeah, we were at a car show and it was very much a very focal point for people looking at the cars, was because I think there was a few of us that have actually got them. I think there's only 3 of us.
It's a big talking point as well, because when you sit in the back, you really get to look at the back of a.
Yeah, because it's got gloss black panels
and a proper thing that you can clean as well.
Yeah,
so it's actually you can really look after it, and these have been looked after really well.
Yeah, they were in really good condition. I was really happy with them.
I mean, for your car now, 40,000 miles or whatever, I wouldn't know if you were to tell me it was 20,000 less. I would be like.
Yeah. I was actually surprised, really, to be fair.
And the thing is about the wheel, and this is what I've done a lot of track days in Alcantara wheels, like Porsche, and you notice it just wears a lot because so many people do it. Yeah. You can get them retrimmed.
Yeah, I've got some holiday at Christmas, so I've basically got my friends give me a GTD standard wheel. So I want to swap the wheels out and get this one retrimmed.
Nice.
But the GTD wheel is lovely because even though obviously it's not the same shape airbag, it'll all go on, but it's got piano black trims around the buttons.
Oh, nice.
But it's been enlarged, so it's actually leather on the sides and Alcantara top and bottom. It's a lovely steering wheel.
Oh, nice.
if it had a GTI airbag, the round airbag, I would 100% keep it. It's stunning, but I just like keeping the steering wheel original.
Yeah,
it's good size. It's a good shape, good size.
Keep it OEM, definitely. And again, I guess that's kind of like the philosophy between like an R and a GTI. Mine's just a leather wheel. Yeah, it's just like it is that more commutable. Trying to be premium in some ways, but again they changed it in the Mark 8 because the wheels are the same. The Mark 8 R and the Mark 8 GTI is just the same kind of plastic kind of thing.
Yeah, like you say, the Alcantara does wear, and if you can keep on top of it, but there's only so much you can do, especially when you've got sunlight.
Well, it's your hands, it's your main thing, and like heat and stuff like that, and just over time it's not so great.
But I'd rather recover it every 4 years than...
For a retrim. How much do you think you're looking at for that?
There's a company down in the southwest, and they said they would do for OEM retrim was about £150.
That's fine, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think it was if you wanted like a little bit enlarged, like your thumb.
If you wanted to.
Yeah, I think it was less than £200.
And I'd do that.
Yeah, to be fair, and they even they can even do like the split, so you can have leather on the sides and the Alcantara top and bottom, just for that bit more wearing that you can get with them.
No, that's definitely. I always justify these sort of extra costs on like tanks of fuel. So I kind of say to myself, well, for 2 or 3 tanks of fuel, I could have a wheel that I touch every single day.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, especially with some of the fuel prices at the moment.
Oh, don't! It's pretty appalling.
Today was a bad day.
Yeah, particularly if you get caught out and you have to.
I stopped in the wrong garage, and I was there just filling up, didn't even think nothing of it, and then went in to the cashier, and when the cashier told me how much it was, I was like, I was on that pump. They were like, yeah. I was like, really? And they were like, yeah. I was like, all right, okay.
Yeah, it's not ideal, particularly with like. So do you put premium in this?
Well, I went for Shell V-Power.
Okay,
so basically, what should have been about £50 cost me £77.
Yeah, that's about right in these times. So we're just, if people are watching this at a different time, we've come off the back of a fuel crisis.
Yeah, well,
which was absolutely a fuel crisis.
Which wasn't a fuel crisis. It was just a driver issue. The fuels was here. There was nothing like that. But again, media hype, and it just went bananas. Especially central England. We didn't just do so bad down the southwest.
No,
it wasn't too bad.
So southeast where I'm around, it was pretty bad, to be fair, because I was literally the Friday when I was going to fill up for fuel, because I was filming with the 45 owner. Okay. I was going to drive up to the Peak District, so I knew I had to have a full tank. And I was just queuing and I was like, this isn't right. And then there was police actually guarding it, and they were just like, can't come in here anymore. Are you just coming in here for food? I had to pretend that I was getting food to get fuel. It was that sort of level of stuff. So I think it took me about an hour.
Yeah.
And then I literally, it was going from pump to pump because some were sort of like blocked out. It was pretty hilarious, to be honest.
Yeah, well, I spoke to some friends dotted around the country, and like where I do my job, we use a lorry, and like we just went into a garage and filled up 80 pounds of diesel in the van and put like £1,300 in the lorry, no problem. And they were like, they can't even get £30 worth of diesel,
That's crazy.
It's mental, isn't it?
It's absolutely weird. Anyway, fuel stuff aside, your 40th is amazing. I think what we're going to try and do is just do we'll do a walk around after this, just talk about the outside together, because I think particularly you're the owner for the last 8 months, you're probably going to spot things that I've other than staring at Auto Trader, looking at these cars, thinking that it's amazing. But honestly, drives so well. If you've tuned this long into the video, I don't know if I'll split it into 2 parts or not, and you're thinking of getting a 40th, definitely get one. Bide your time and try and find the right one, because it is going to be hard. It is going to be very hard to find a car in this specific spec.
The more spec options you've got, the harder it is to find it.
I mean, I would probably say there's maybe, I don't know, off the top of my head, if you say a fifth of the cars that were made are in this spec, which is probably not. Yeah,
so we've got
does it have like?
We've got like a current build list with us within the group, and it's basically the build number, the colour, and it's whether it's a 3-door or 5-door, or it's manual or DSG. And there's only, on that list we've got so far, there's only 20 red ones, and at the moment I can only find 3 or 4 3-door red ones. But then I think Reflex Silver is even rarer, and there's one called Urano Grey, which was actually it's sort of like a dark.
Really?
Yeah.
So what were so I always thought that they were sort of like white, black, and red for the 40th, or was there actually a few more?
So you've got Urano Grey, which was the free stock colour, which is almost like the Audi Grey.
Yep, Nardo
Grey, yeah,
Grey,
but it's a little bit darker. It's called Urano Grey. We can only find 2 in that colour, and that was a free option. Then you've got Pure White, which is just a normal white. Oryx White, which was a pearl.
Can you get Oryx White on the 40ths?
Yes.
Wow, that's going to be hard to find one of them.
Yeah, they look lovely. They look really nice.
Proper pearlescent paint. I think it's £1,000 that paint.
Yes, I think you're right. Yeah, and then it's charcoal grey and then black.
Oh, that's really good, because again, that's because the Clubsport S is 3 colours, isn't it?
Yeah, Clubsport S is only 3 colours. Yeah,
and the white is just a flat white. I think.
I think it's pure white. Black.
This red.
And then Tornado Red.
That's where I kind of look at this and I'm like, Clubsport S looks.
Yeah, I think GTIs. I like the red GTIs because of the badgings and because obviously the GTI brakes are red as well. I think it just all ties in really nice.
Yeah, it does actually. It really does kind of add to it.
And I like red.
Red dials.
Yeah, red dials. You got the red stitching. It's just for me, it's just all ties in really nice.
It's really, really good, and no, it's a proper sorted car.
Yeah.
I think we could probably talk forever.
We could easily.
I would definitely say meet up again in the future.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Yeah, definitely.
See how the car's going and stuff like that. But
yeah, definitely.
Thank you so much, by the way, for letting me to drive it, let alone driving this way as well. Kind of met halfway. I think you drove a little bit longer than me, so I massively appreciate it.
That's all right.
And great car, and I guess
any excuse to drive it, mate.
Yeah, any excuse to kind of enjoy the cars, definitely. If you have tuned in for this long into the video, whether this is a part 2 or just this whole continuous hour or however long we've kind of been talking, and you do want to get involved in the channel in terms of like go for a feature Q&A like we've done, first drive, or even just you drive, just reach out to me, just DM me on Instagram, or just just email me from. If you go to the YouTube About section on my homepage, you can see all the details there. Pretty casual, pretty easy. The cars that I kind of like are like these ones. To be honest with you, I'm doing my best to try and sort of get them all in, if that makes sense. Yeah. So TCRs, hopefully that's going to happen. Hoping the Clubsport S owner can kind of arrange something as well, and then I'm pretty much completed. But yeah, if you see my channel, you see the cars that I kind of talk about, and you'd like to get involved in it, just let me know and we can for sure work something out. But yeah, on that note, let's go for a walk around outside. Yes. But no, again, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And yeah, thanks everyone for sort of tuning in to this long chat. But yeah, I enjoyed it, and I'm honestly, there's always so much more to say.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'll be grinning honestly all the way home. It's an amazing car, amazing.
Yeah. It was good to take you out, isn't it?
Awesome, no, proper sorted. But no, cheers guys, and thanks for watching.